The bad boys are back, a little older now, but still ready for some great action. And how refreshing was it to see Martin Lawrence back up on the big screen again?
You could get that buffed out.
No, you can get that buffed out.
Between all the action and laughs, there were a lot of smaller moments, Easter eggs, and things that you may have missed along the way. So join us as we dive into Bad Boys for Life and reveal everything that you may have missed this time around. And yeah, spoilers are definitely included. Will Smith and Martin Lawrence are both the leads and essential parts of the Bad Boys franchise.
What you gonna do? What you gonna do when we come for you?
But it's clear that in the past 25 years, Smith has remained the big star. For the first two Bad Boy movies, Martin Lawrence's name appeared first on the official posters and opening credits. Now things have changed a bit. Will Smith's name appears first in all of the Bad Boys for Life promotional material, as well as the opening credits for the movie. Despite being a little thing, Sony was smart to give Smith first billing, especially considering the massive salary he made for the movie, something that we will touch upon a little bit later on in the video. In the opening scene of Bad Boys for Life, we see Mike and Marcus racing to the hospital so Marcus can meet his first grandchild. As Mike pulls up in the Porsche, Marcus swings open the door and bumps it into a fire hydrant. The moment is played for laughs and is a callback to the production of Bad Boys 2. While filming, Martin Lawrence opened the door to director Michael Bay's Ferrari and the door hit a concrete barrier. The moment never made it to the final cut, but Michael Bay does mention it in the Bad Boys 2 DVD special features. Hopefully both cars have good insurance, because damage like that is a little hard to just buff out. One of the main villains in Bad Boys for Life is Isabel Aretas, who is referred to as the Witch. Marcus makes an emphasis on calling her a witch over and over again, and the nickname pays off in the end. Isabel's final scene includes her following multiple stories and losing her life, not only from the impact, but as she burns at the stake. The striking visual image felt like something more out of the Salem witch trails than a Bad Boys movie, but the ending was fitting. Her gruesome demise matched up with the way she handled those guards at the prison during her escape scene early on in the movie. After ordering so many characters to meet their demise, the movie ensured that she would be gone for good thanks to the fall and flames. Wow, cell phone technology has really changed throughout the years. The first Bad Boys barely used the handheld device, the second Bad Boys was before the age of smartphones, and Bad Boys for Life allowed Marcus and Mike to instantly text each other. It's pretty funny to take a closer look at the contact pictures for each character. The production crew didn't have to go far to create the Marcus contact on Mike's phone. If you look closely at Marcus's picture, the image of Martin Lawrence is taken directly from the Bad Boys 2 poster. This means that the Miami Police Department must have some pretty great photographers on their staff to capture all of these photos. And you'd think that Mike would have used a picture that wasn't from 17 years ago. During one of the big action set pieces, we see Will Smith's character jump a helicopter ladder and fly through the air and try to reach Armando. Well, if the scene looked familiar, then you are probably a huge fan of Will Smith's YouTube channel. For Smith's 50th birthday, the actor decided to bungee jump out of a helicopter hovering over the Grand Canyon. The harness that Smith uses to jump out of a helicopter offers a lot more protection than hanging off of a ladder, but we have to wonder which of the stunts was actually more dangerous. Either way, both moments provided thrilling scenes for the movie and in real life. After directing the first two Bad Boy films, Michael Bay took a step back for the third and decided to hand the reins over while he remained on as a producer. While Bay himself was not a part of the action, he did get some on-camera time as he appeared in a cameo role. Did you spot him? Well, if not, we'll tell you exactly where you can see him. When Marcus's daughter marries Reggie, we didn't expect Mike to appear at the ceremony, but he does. And it's none other than Michael Bay who introduces him. Bay is credited as a wedding MC in the movie and was never given a fictional name for the brief role. After Michael Bay's brief cameo, there's another great moment that may have flown right past viewers' heads.
We fly together, we die together.
This one involves Will Smith and the wheelchair. Smith gets rolled up to the stage and then fools everyone when he can stand up on his feet after the brutal and violent gunshot wounds. The whole scene played like the original Willy Wonka, where Gene Wilder hobbles on a cane only to reveal that he can walk perfectly fine. To take the moment a little deeper, Will Smith was one of the rumored actors who was considered for the role of Wonka in 2005's Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. The role eventually went to Johnny Depp.
My name is Willy Wonka.
But we could just imagine how slick Smith would have been as Wonka himself. All Marcus wants to do is retire and enjoy some telenovelas as he spends his days at home. We get a glimpse of this in a great montage as Mike goes out to investigate and Marcus enjoys some microwaved treats. As Marcus hangs out at home, look at the wall to see what's hanging behind him. You can spot a white Dwayne Wade Miami Heat jersey in the background. The jersey is not only a great nod to one of Miami's most famous athletes, but it's a shout out to Wade's wife, Gabrielle Union. Union was one of the stars of Bad Boys 2, and stay tuned to hear another fun nod to her Will Smith mentions in the movie. Times have changed and technology has advanced. The generational gap between the first Bad Boys and Bad Boys for Life was a big plot element, especially with the group Ammo. Ammo is assigned to work with Mike and Marcus, and clearly, Mike cannot handle the new way of doing things.
Ammo is a high school musical boy band with guns.
The funny part is that Vanessa Hudgens actually was the main star of the High School Musical trilogy. In an Instagram post, Hudgens posted a clip of the moment and admitted that the line wasn't in the script, so Will Smith must have improvised it knowing that he'd be acting alongside Hudgens. The moment brought a big laugh and felt even more real when the Ammo team began singing the Bad Boys song. Bad Boys for Life is not just a big sequel, it's got a huge budget attached with it. You don't get the chemistry that Will Smith and Martin Lawrence have together every day, and Sony definitely shelled out the big bucks. Except, one actor got a lot more than the other. Can you guess who? Yeah, Big Willie style, raked in a cool $17 million. Lawrence has nothing to complain about though. His return to the franchise brought him a $6 million paycheck, and we're pretty sure the pay will increase with the announcement of Bad Boys 4 and early box office success the movie already has. While Will didn't include Willow or Jaden in a fun cameo role, Martin Lawrence took advantage of the fun family connection and decided to give his daughter Jasmine a small part. Jasmine appears during the club scene. When Mike and Marcus try to get in, she cuts them off and refuses to let them in the club. There's two girls there. She's the one with the clipboard. Rafi comes and makes the save, embarrassing the old men and giving Jasmine a good reason to laugh at her father. While you watch, you can definitely notice some of the same mannerisms and vocal cadence as her father. Let's keep the cameo train going here, and the club scene seems full of them. This time we're focused on the Bad Boys for Life directors, Bilal and Adil, in the club. We see Rita get hit on by a guy, but she insists that she's there with some girlfriends and not looking for a night out. The man putting on the pressure is Bilal. Just a few minutes later, Will Smith heads out of the club and decides to take a Jeep for a ride. The guy he pulls out of the Jeep? None other than co-director Adil. The moments were quick, but we imagine that they were pretty busy staging so many action scenes and moments. Movies change during post-production all the time, and this is one of the reasons why we often see scenes in trailers that do not appear in the final cut of the movie. This is exactly what happened in Bad Boys for Life. In one of the earliest trailers, we saw Mike and Marcus speeding through a mall in a Porsche.
He's driving through a mall!
In the final film, the opening scene features the same moments, except the mall has been replaced with the streets of Miami along the beach. We find out that Mike and Marcus not on a mission, but trying to make it to the hospital as soon as possible. The swap out makes sense. The world of Miami is a huge part of the Bad Boys franchise, and showcasing the streets and beaches fits a lot better than cruising through a mall. Speaking of authentic Miami, the film shot many scenes on location, and you can recognize a lot of the landscape for many of the scenes. One of the more memorable appears when Mike and Marcus join up with the Ammo squad in the old food truck. As the truck makes its way down the road, it passes a huge mural of a boombox. While the creation looks like something made for just the film, it's a real piece of art featured in Miami. There are actually several boombox designs throughout the city. The one featured in the movie is known as the Everlasting Base Boombox and is located in the Wynwood Arts District. While Michael Bay may not have directed the third Bad Boys movie, his presence was definitely felt in the style. Remember the foot chase in the original movie with the pan-around shot of Mike and Marcus? Well, we get a call back to the same shot, only this time, Mike and Marcus are too old and out of breath to go along on the foot race. Another iconic shot, the airplane shot flying over the Miami sign. The shot is used in the previous Bad Boy movies, except this time around, the footage is used to showcase Mike and Marcus leaving the city. The influence is not only a great dedication to Bay, but helps keep the visual flow between all the movies. In Bad Boys for Life, Alexander Ludwig plays the character Dorn.
Bad boys, bad boys.
Hey.
Dorn is a tech expert on the ammo team, and despite being behind a computer screen, Ludwig got jacked for the role. To help him get ready for the role, Ludwig went to the ultimate source, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Not only did Johnson help Ludwig get into shape, but the tips will come in handy as Ludwig gets ready to star in the Starz series Heels, which revolves around the world of pro wrestling. And hopefully we'll get to see him involved in a little more action if he joins up with the ammo crew again for Bad Boys 4. One of the biggest twists in Bad Boys for Life came with the huge reveal that Mike had a son. The child was born before the events of the original Bad Boys movie when Mike worked undercover and got a little too close for comfort to Isabel, the person he claimed was the only one he's ever fallen in love with. While they tried to shoehorn the Secret Son storyline the best they could, the timelines don't quite add up. The biggest problem is that Marcus had no clue about Mike's time in the undercover world. In Bad Boys 2, we see a yearbook and learn the cops went to high school together, and in the first Bad Boys, which takes place in 1995, we learn that they have been partners for at least 5 or 6 years.
I've been your partner for 6 years.
So Marcus would have had to have known about the undercover work. The twist was a fun addition to the movie, but the timelines don't quite add up like they should. Mike's secret child definitely brought a lot of drama to the movie, and the big reveal from Isabel leads to a funny one-liner from Marcus about the whole thing being a telenovela. Well, he isn't too far off. Kate Del Castillo plays Isabel, and some of her most famous roles have been a part of Mexican telenovelas. She's seen her fair share of baby reveals, secret affairs, and long-lost twins. Everything came full circle for the actress as she embraced the role, and she got to use her telenovela skills in a big-budget movie. The Bad Boys franchise has expanded far beyond the 3 movies. Not only will we get a 4th Bad Boys movie and possible ammo spinoff, but we already have more great content in the form of a TV show as LA's Finest. The show stars Gabrielle Union as Sid, the detective from Bad Boys 2. Even though she didn't return for Bad Boys for Life, she does get a mention from Marcus as he lashes out some old times together with Mike. The callback was nice, considering how many new characters appeared in this movie. Hey, at least we got a Reggie appearance. While Gabrielle Union didn't make a cameo appearance in the movie, there was a brief moment with YouTube star Thomas Bragg. Bragg is one of the stars of the YouTube channel Yes Theory. A few months back, the channel did a whole behind-the-scenes look on the film and showcased Bragg's cameo role. If you're looking for him on the big screen, pay attention to the night scenes after the big wedding. You will see Bragg very briefly holding a plate of cake. It's not a star-studded cameo like some other movies, but just another fun Easter egg to watch for. Will Smith also appears in the YouTube Yes Theory video on the cameo role. One of the rooftop fight scenes in the middle of Bad Boys for Life features Mike's first encounter with his biological son, Armando. The two battle on a roof before Armando is able to get away. As you watch the wide shots of the hotel, you'll notice a large Broadmoor sign. The Broadmoor Hotel in Miami is a real hotel located near Miami Beach. The movie filmed the scene on location, and you can book a room at the Broadmoor Hotel right now. As the film gains popularity, you can expect the rates to skyrocket as fans try to book a room and see the location where Will Smith got his butt whooped. When big budget sequels get made, one of the terms that often gets brought up is fan service. The term refers to films catering to pleasing fans and featuring moments directly aimed at making audiences happy. Bad Boys for Life took this one step further by featuring some literal fan service in the movie. As Marcus tried to relax and enjoy a day at home, he has to deal with a malfunctioning ceiling fan. The literal fan service he delivers in the scene doesn't quite work, causing a major power surge in the house and a funny moment in the movie. Ammo member Dorn lives a life without violent confrontations, and when he's forced to engage in some action during the climax of the movie, he acknowledges his need for therapy when things are all said and done. Dorn brings therapy up again to Mike and Marcus, but the two admit that there's no way that they're going to therapy. The moment is a great callback to the scene in Bad Boys 2, where they both recall their time in therapy. Marcus's time turned into a bickering session, while Mike's time turned out to be a lot more intimate than he expected. So yeah, we can see why these two will not be returning to therapy anytime soon. Sorry, Dorn. While we had to wait 17 years for the 3rd Bad Boys movie, the end of Bad Boys for Life wasted no time preparing us for a 4th movie. While Armando is locked up for his crimes, Mike decides to help his son out a little bit. Clearly, he's presenting an undercover mission to help cut off some of his prison time. Sound familiar? Well, to Will Smith it should. The same deal Armando may get is extremely similar to the one Smith got as Deadshot in Suicide Squad.
What, we some kind of Suicide Squad?
If Armando gets a bomb installed in his skull, then Sony could find themselves with a copyright issue. Either way, we'll have to see how the redemption story truly pans out. With a Porsche and a Miami condo we could only dream of, it's easy to assume that Mike earns a major payday as a Miami detective. Well, don't start applying for a detective job just yet. Mike's money isn't from his salary. Back in the very first Bad Boys movie, we learned that Mike was left with a very generous trust fund from his parents. He became a detective purely for the passion. The small detail allows Mike to have nice clothes, cars, and condo without trying to shoehorn some work bonuses. So if you haven't seen the first film, that's the only detail you really need to know to understand exactly how Mike lives it up in Miami. And there it is, we made it through. Now let's go see the movie again. Will Smith and Martin Lawrence delivered a fun and fast-paced movie that was filled with all of these small moments. Were there any Easter eggs that we missed? What moment was your favorite? Should Sid have appeared? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to ScreenRant for more great content.